everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is midday in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. As usual, I hope you guys and girls are well. Smurfberry Barbecue, hello to you, good morning Hellforge, and hello to Mana as well. Remember guys, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, click that link Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat. We're going to continue working on the kitchen for a game called The House on the Hollow, which you can wishlist now on Steam by clicking the link in Twitch chat. Or if you want to know more about me, you can go to my website again by clicking the link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat. Okay. There's also Nightbot telling you about my YouTube channel. So yes, if you do miss any streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch page or going to my YouTube channel, because I upload all my previous broadcasts to YouTube. Although YouTube is a little bit behind Twitch, so. Oh, and Hellforge popped that YouTube thing in. Thank you, Hellforge. Good morning to you. Jade Kitchen Hype. So yesterday we were doing UV mapping, and I don't think we're doing any more UV mapping now, or maybe just a tiny bit, because I realized if we jump into Max and we look at the kitchen we were doing here, I did realize that, let me just lock onto something so Max has something to rotate around. I think what I want to do is I want to put tiles here and here. So between the two cabinets, I want to have a row of tiles on the wall. The same goes here. I'll have tiles going from that edge to here and then to the edge, probably lining up with the top of that cabinet there, I think, because we're going to have a window here. So that's pretty much all we have to do for this, and then I want to do some vertex coloring so that we can start texturing. Okay, so as usual, if you've got any questions while I'm working, please feel free to ask me in chat. Don't think you'll be interrupting me. I like talking to you guys and girls. If you just want to watch though, then that's completely fine. Just going to grab a quick drink before we start. Nice and cold. Coffee and save. Well, we don't have to save because we haven't done anything yet, but I will have a coffee. That's a good idea. You can never have too much coffee. So much better than water. Okay, let's have a look at what are we doing here. We're going to start by putting some tiles between these two cabinets. So, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go with a box. I'm going to go into the top view. Elfwood says, what did you work on yesterday? I was dealing with some pretty bad internet issues, so I missed pretty much the whole stream. We did the curtain yesterday, actually. So we did the kitchen curtain. We finished doing some UV mapping on this. Like, we did the sink, and we did the kitchen curtain. So that's what you missed yesterday. And that's no good. You got potato internet too. So I'm just going to grab a box and make it about the right length. I'm just going to move it up now. So we want the tiles to run from the bottom of the cabinet to the top of the next cabinet. Euro is going to see. Euro says, gravity got a hold of my eyelids yesterday. No problem. That dang gravity. Okay, so what I'm looking at doing here is I'm going to have tiles on this. And you don't stick tiles directly to a wall. Generally, tiles are attached to grout, which is like, you know, so you have like a bit of a layer of grout, then you have your tile on top of it. So that's what I want to do here. I want to make it thick enough so that we can have like a cement grout backing and the tile on the front. Alfred says, not sure what's going on with it, to be honest. Some days it works as it should, and other days I get DC'd several times an hour. Well, that's no good. Look, I live in Australia, and everybody knows that Australia generally has pretty potato internet. So I can relate. But what I want to do with this is I want to make sure, I don't really want this sticking in the wall, so I'm going to move it forward a little bit. So it lines up with the cabinet. Make sure we're reaching the top of the cabinet and the bottom of the cabinet. Might just pull it back just a touch in the height, and that's too much, so let's go with 21.1. Let's try that. No, that's not enough. 21.18. Oh, that looks good to me. And let's make sure we're lined up down this end too. It looks like it might be just a little bit off, so. Android Lust, it's good to see you too. Hope you're well. So yeah, we're going to line it up with that corner there. And we're going to make it a little bit shorter because it looks like it's a little bit too long. Now, did you move from both ends? You did. I think what I'm going to... yeah, I think what I'll do here is I'm going to actually do this by hand instead of relying on the spinner. It'll just be easier. That's good. So we want to make sure our width is correct first. So we need enough width for a tile. Whoop. And for a cement backing or a grout backing. And that's probably actually not too bad. That should be okay. Yeah. But what we do want to do is, I'm just going to go into isolation mode so it's easier for me to work on. I'm going to turn on wireframe override. And we want the width segments, is it? Or is it the height segments? I always get them confused. No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. It's the length segment. That's the one. I just want to make sure I have a line through here so that I can separate the grout from the tile. I also, though, do want to add one line down here, and you'll see why in a minute. So let us throw an edit poly down. And let's loop this. And I'm going to go into the front viewport and move this one down. There are a couple of ways I could do this tiling. I could use two boxes, but we might do it a little bit differently, I think. I'm going to turn wireframe off.
Are you ready?
Actually, I'm going to turn it back on. We'll go with edge faces, actually, make it easier for me to see. I just want to basically make sure the width there is about the same as the width there. And I think it is about the same. Good. Now let's go into face mode. Actually, just before I do that, I also wanted to go out of isolation. So that we can line up this edge. Looks like I might have, top should be front, I think. There we go. That's good. Back into edge mode. Oh, hang on. No, I want perspective here. There we go. No, I don't want orthographic. I want perspective. Thank you. Just before I do this, I'm just going to duplicate this so that we can keep the width the same on both sections. So before I start making alterations to this one, I'm just going to hold the shift key and drag out a copy. Good. Back to this one. We're going to go into the top viewport, I think, for this. And I'm just going to extrude that out till it meets the edge of the other cabinet. Actually, yeah, that edge. Good. I'm going to keep this separate as well. So this is going to be one piece we'll place. This will be another piece we'll place. And then the tiles between them will be a third piece. We're doing this so that we get good texture resolution on these two. Instead of attaching everything together as one piece, it just helps us maneuver things in the kitchen and the game as well a little bit more easily, as opposed to having everything as one. Getting a bit warm. I'm just going to put my air conditioning on, guys. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Which button is it? I think it's this one. Okay, that should be better. It's starting to get a bit warm today here in Australia. It's a problem. I'll just wait for my live script screen there to disappear and we can continue on. I'll have a copy while I'm waiting. Okay. So now we need to move the one that we just made, the copy we just made. And to rotate it. Actually, let's not rotate it. Let's move it over here. So once we get the tiles done, then we will start doing some vertex coloring so that we've got our texturing all sorted. I might actually bring this one in just a little bit. Let us... That looks like it's around the wrong way, so I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. And then we can move these ones into alignment with the bottom of the cabinet. Okay, just trying to see the design of this. It's a bit weird. We have this gap here in the top, but that's okay. Yeah. No, that'll be alright. Back to our edge mode. And for this one, we're going to go to the edge of the cabinet there, I think. Bring it back just a little bit. Good. Snappy Echo, hey, it's good to see you, buddy. I was saying to the guys, I realised I want to put some tiles between our cabinets, and I didn't think about that when I designed them, so we're doing that now. So yeah, so in here we have our window, sort of like in here. So we only want tiles to go to the edge. Okay, now all we need to do is UV map these up, and that should be pretty simple because they're just boxes. So let's send that to Horizon. Let me just collapse my stack. Make sure I'm positioned properly here. My mic is unmuted, yes, good. Wouldn't be the first time. I forgot to unmute my mic. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, let's go with this one. And send it back. Smurfberry says, I remember when I was made of tiles. Ah, Smurf. Back in the good old days when you were made of tiles. Let's send this one over to Horizon as well. Sniper asks how my day is going. It's going well, apart from it being too hot. You guys know Phil doesn't like the heat. And it's just too hot. Always too hot. That's what I get for living where I live in Australia. You know. I might actually see if we can't stitch that together, just so we get a nice, when we come to texture it up inside of Substance Painter, we'll get a nice flow of tiles. I should do that for the other one as well, actually. I'm not going to worry about the back because we're never going to see the back, but here we will. So I might just redo the one we just did before. This one over here. How's your day going, Sniper Echo? And all you guys, how's all of your guys' days going? Night, morning, early hour of the morning, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'm talking to you, Hellforge, because I know it's very early for you. we're just going to do the same for this one. We're just going to stitch this line through the middle. Very good. Nice. Android Lost says, I'm 160p quality, Sniper Wrecker. My internet is acting like hell forges. Yes, well, I was saying, you know, I live in Australia, and you guys know that we have pretty potato internet here as well. I mean, they're rolling out the NBN, the National Broadband Network, and I am connected to that, so it's not too bad. But a lot of people in this country are still pretty much stuck on not dial-up, but ADSL. I don't know if you guys used ADSL overseas, but yeah, they're switching everyone from ADSL to this broadband network which uses fibre, and is much better. But it's not everywhere yet, and there's still a lot of people in Australia with really bad internet. So I'm actually upping my internet speed at the end of the month. I'm going faster, because why not? I'm going to trial it for 6 months. See what it's like. Not that, I mean, my internet now is fast enough, but hey, they're offering it for free for 6 months, so why not? Euro says the UV tile pattern must be super confusing at 1060p. That checker. Android Lust says, I can see the checkers. To be honest, it's easier on the eyes. Mr. Squarepeg says, hello, Mr. Squarepeg. It's good to see you. Android Lust says, Android Lust, lovely. Euro says, 0121 here, 121 here in the morning, I'm assuming. All good. Got a blanket of snow outside. Oh, I'm so jealous. Don't talk to me about snow, guys. You know how much I want to live where it snows, and I'm so jealous of you people that live where it snows. That would be so nice. Snuggled in a blanket with snow outside. You doing good, Sniper Echo? Good to hear. You're doing good as well, Mr. Square Peg? Well, that's good to hear too. I'm glad you guys are all doing well, and you're all staying healthy. And you're all wearing masks if you go outside, aren't you, around other people? You must be. It's really important. No one wants to get that human malware. Particularly now they have the superhuman malware going around, this variant thing. Hellford says, I've had better days, but I'm alive. Remember to save and copy. Yes, let's do a save because we haven't done one. I'm just going to close Ryzen down because we don't need it now. And I'll have a copy. Okay. I guess we should get our naming correctly first, shouldn't we? We should name these bits and pieces so that when we come to export it, we know what we're doing. Would probably be a good idea. Get so caught up in making it, you forget to name it properly. I mean, I've spoken about this before on stream about particularly when you're working with other people. They don't like it when you give them files that aren't correctly named. They find it very hard to work on your stuff after you if you haven't named things properly. Sniper says, Hellforge, how are you doing? Oh, okay, he's talking to Hellforge. So we're going to start naming these. I know from the room, the door is like here and the window is here. So I know if we walk in, this is going to be the right hand side and this is going to be the left hand side. So we're going to go and name this what do we call this? Kitchen top right, not left. I don't know my right from my left. Kitchen top right, and this one of course will be kitchen bottom right. You see I put an underspace on my names. That's just a habit I got into because of working with other operating systems like Linux. They don't like spaces. I don't know, it may have changed. I haven't used Linux for a while, but it used to be you couldn't put a space, so I always put an underscore. Sometimes I forget, but I try to. And so this one will be kitchen top left. And this one will be kitchen bottom left. Yura says, I always underscore. Spaces are a sign of the devil. That's right. Yeah, I just got into the habit of doing an underscore instead of a space because, yeah, some operating systems have a problem. Some software has a problem with space. Generally not as much nowadays, but it used to be much more of a problem than it is. It's just a habit I've gotten into and I don't seem to be able to get out of now. So this is kitchen left, so we're going to call this kitchen tiles left. Which will make this one kitchen tiles right. Good. Now. Android Dot says, I don't think Maya allows you to use spaces to name meshes. That's interesting, I didn't know that. Max does. And you can do it in Max, but I try not to. Now comes the interesting part. We have to start naming all of these cupboard doors. So I think what we're going to do, so this is the kitchen top right. We're going to call this door on the end, kitchen top, D for door, A as in apple. So kitchen top D A, which will make this one, if you can guess, kitchen top D B, and then kitchen top D. What comes after B, boys and girls? C, that's right. And this one will be D. And then E. It just makes life much easier when I start bringing it into Unreal. If I know the order they're supposed to go in. I mean, I could guess it by looking at the paneling, but this will make it easier. So what do you know? E, was it? Yeah. So this one's going to be F. Andrew Dust says, I'll correct that. If you use space, it'll replace it with an underscore. Oh, okay. Yura says, I received a Mac scene from someone who uses acrylic language and had spaces instead of underscores. It was a complete nightmare refactoring it all back to sensible. So we've gone to F, and so this one's got to be G. Good. So kitchen top A to G. And the bottom. Oh, hang on. You know what I forgot to do, didn't I? I said kitchen top, but I didn't say which side of the kitchen. And this is the right hand side. So kitchen top R for right hand side. We're going to have to just put that R in there. I try and avoid making too long a file name as well. That's why I'm just abbreviating to like R instead of right. Because sometimes if there are too many characters, it can have a problem. I know if you're compiling your own build of the Unreal Engine, you can't have it in two, like you can't nest it, multiple nest it where you do the install. Because if the path to the install is too long, then the thing won't build properly. Just something to be aware of if you are compiling your own build of Unreal. Don't make the file path too long. Okay, so kitchen top R for right, D A to G. And this one's going to be kitchen bottom R for right, D. Now we've gone A to G on the top. I'm going to go 1 to 4 on the bottom, 4 or 5. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. We're using a separate name, so we'll keep everything consistent. So DA again, because the name is different. It's bottom R instead of top R, so that should be fine. And this one will be DB. DC. DD. And DE. Okay, I think that takes care of that side of the kitchen. Yura says, I had to do that since I couldn't sort layers alphabetically. So this one is the kitchen top left, so this is going to be kitchen top L for left, D A, which will make this one DB, and this one will be, instead of kitchen top, it'll be kitchen bottom. Left, of course. DA, that looks good. And this will be DB. And this will be C, which will make this D. And that's it. Now let me look through my list here and see, make sure everything's been renamed. Now one of these hasn't been renamed. What is that? Where is that? Ah, looks like I forgot one of the drawers. Okay. So this is A, which will make this one B, which will now make this one C. And this one D, and this one E, and this one will be F. Now let's check. That all looks good. Hang on, I have this thing here. What's this? What is this? It's strange. That is nothing. Let's delete that. And we have this one here. What is that? I think we'll find this one will be nothing as well. Yeah. And then we have the sink, of course, which I'm keeping separate because I want to texture it separately. Alrighty, I think we're good. I guess we better do a save before Max decides to crash, hadn't we? And I can have a copy. Alright, so next is vertex colouring, I guess. Although I'm just thinking we don't probably need to colour. I'm just going to isolate one of these pieces so we can look at it and decide what we want to do here. Yura says, Max doesn't crash, it's a myth perpetuated by the competition. You saw the thing crash yesterday. I was using it yesterday and I threw down a quarter-ply mesh on a poly and it crashed, Max. Yeah, so Max does crash still, occasionally. Occasionally it does. I mean, it's gotten much better, but it still does crash, so. I think I'm just trying to decide now how we're going to sort of design this kitchen, make it what it's going to look like. I probably want to go with the wood for the cabinets, I think. because we're going to have the fridge, which is going to be like a painted metal, the oven, which will be a painted metal. I think maybe if we go wood for the cabinets, it might help to break it up a little bit, because I want to go, I still haven't decided exactly on the design I want for the actual wall paneling, but I'm thinking wood for the top half, like break the wall up just below midway, have wood for the top half and tiles for the bottom half on the walls. So no, you didn't. You weren't there. Well, if you were there yesterday, or if you watched back the stream from yesterday, you'll see Max crash when we did a qualify mesh. But I think, to be fair to Max, I think the problem was more with the geometry of my mesh than anything. I think the quad modifier, when I applied it to my mesh wasn't great. So because we had to redo that top, one of the tops of the cabinets, we had to completely remake it basically. So I think the mesh was the problem. Elfwood says, name a 3D software that doesn't crash and send me a copy, I'll prove you wrong. Yes, they all crash. So I think what we might do here is, you see with the kitchen cabinets here, we have these decorative pieces that sit above the cabinetry. So like this piece here and this curved piece here. So I think we might make those a separate wood. Like I'm probably not going to use cherry wood, but as an example, you know how we've got cherry wood and chocolate wood we've used on a lot of the furniture in the building? We could have like the cabinetry all here are cherry wood, and then we could have a chocolate wood for the decorative pieces that sit on the top. I think that could look cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collapse my stack. And we're going to select these decorative pieces. And we'll make them a blue. And so now if I do a select invert, we'll make all of that a red. And I might just turn colouring on so we can check as we go that everything has been coloured. Yeah, I think that could look interesting. Alright. Let's work on the top and we'll work our way down. So let's work on this one. Again, let's collapse the stack. Turn it to an edit poly. And we'll do the same. This piece up here, we'll make it blue. I said blue. Invert the selection. And we'll make this red. Okay, let's work on the bottom cabinet. Now the bottom cabinet. I know I want the cabinet tops to either be a marble, probably a marble, or a jade. How about that, Hellforge? We'll make a jade. But I want it to be separate from the wood of the base. So Hellforge says, how many engongs did you have? I've got no idea. Jura says, it's pretty rare for me to have a crash in Max. Look, it's rare for me as well, I have to admit. That was the only time I find Max may crash. Generally are two things. It's when I'm working with the Quadify Mesh modifier, or when I'm working with a Boolean. Those two things in Max can still be a little unstable, but everything else, if I never touch Quadify Mesh and I never touch a Boolean, then Max is pretty stable. So I have to admit, generally Max is pretty good. Euro says the GUI rewrite in 21 definitely fixed a bunch of issues. Yeah, no. I've noticed with the rewrite of Max 2021, everything is nice and smooth. Gone are the days of your viewport glitching. Everything is wonderfully smooth now, so. And I just love Max's interface. It's one of the reasons I use it as opposed to anything else is because it's just nice and clean. Everything's laid out easily to find. It's beautiful. They've done a really nice job with the interface, and they haven't changed it. So I don't like change. Unlike ZBrush where they hide stuff, nest menus within menus, it's just a nightmare. Healthwood says, could make the sync tap Jade. Well, we could make the sync tap Jade, yes. Yuri says, I love booleans, such a time. So look, I do too, but I do find that in Macs they can be a little problematic sometimes. So let's select the top here. And let's make it green, so it's Jade. Just for you, Hellforge. It's not going to be Jade, but you know. Let's invert the selection. And I think everything else is going to be just the same wood color, so I'll make that a red. And we're going to turn on vertex coloring so we can see our work. Okay, let's move on to this side. Yura says, I find booleans only ever give me an issue when there are not enough edges in a mesh, yeah. Which is what we ended up doing. You remember yesterday, guys, when because I booleaned this top to cut the hole for the sink out. Before I booleaned it, I increased the... I quantified the mesh, so we had more verts to work with, so when we did the boolean cut, the program had an easier time of it. Produces a cleaner cut too than if you have fewer polygons and it has to split them. Smurfberry says, bro, they used a 32-sided cylinder to boolean the torpedo tubes on the submarine. I usually go with a 48-sided cylinder. Like dear God, why? Smurfberry says. Let's collapse the stack. And isolate it again. And let's make this a nice green for Jade or Healthwood. And make this red. Smurf says there are only 8 connecting hitches. Okay. Good. I know it looks pretty funky in all these colours, but you guys have seen me work this way before. I don't need to colour the tiled pieces. Actually, no, I do, because I want to have a separate material for the grout behind it. So what I need to do is select. It helps if I select the right piece of geometry, doesn't it? Let's collapse the stack. Actually, I need to make sure too that that these are these are packed correctly. I didn't check that. I think they are. No, they're not. Okay, just as well I checked. Which means this one won't be packed either. I'm just going to tidy this packing up because Max can do a really bizarre job sometimes on its packing. I don't want these at an angle like that, so I'm going to rotate them. And repack it. So we can fill holes but not rotate them. Which means I think we probably need to fix this one as well. It probably did the same thing. Yeah. and repack it. Yeah, so now we can collapse that stack. Wait. Wait. What are you doing? I'm going to isolate this piece to make it easier for me to work with. I'm just also going to... I thought I'd actually split this, but obviously I didn't, so I'm going to slice it. Let me just turn angle snap back on. I'll slice it about the middle. Okay. Now I'm wondering if this end I've done, I'm probably going to have to do the same thing. No, this one's good. Okay. So we want that bit, we want that bit. This bit. And this bit. I may as well do the top, although we're never going to see the top. Actually, yeah. We're not going to see the top, so the top doesn't matter. Same at the bottom. So we've got all of that. Good. Let's make that an aqua. And invert. And let's make this a yellow. So that's just so that we can have half of it as like a grout and half of it will be a tile on the sides. Good. What are we saying here? Helpwood says math checks out. Euro says I vary my cylinders by their size. Larger diameter equals more size. Smurf says so there's a 32-sided hole in the middle of 9 faces. Euro says sounds like they made it in SketchUp. Smurf says they made it in Max. They have no respect for engons. Euro says I love engons. Nom nom. Helpwood says flipped normals. Euro says nah, it's just the checker making it look like that. So now we have to do the same for this one over here, so let us collapse that stack. I have a feeling I'm probably going to have that problem on the edge again where I didn't... Oh no, that one's okay, but probably not this one. Yeah. This one isn't, so let's fix this one. This is the front, so let's look at it from the back. There we go. Again, we want to throw down a slice plane. You'll notice with Max and the slice plane, if I didn't have that selected, highlighted, like those polys highlighted, it would slice all the way through the mesh, but because I've only got certain polygons highlighted, Max will only slice what I have highlighted. Just for people that use Max and might not be aware of that, if you want to sort of like limit the slicing to just part of the geometry, then highlight what you want to be sliced. If you don't want that to happen, don't highlight anything and it will cut all the way through. Switch this back to the front because I like to work from the front, not from the back. So we want that piece, that piece, that piece, those pieces. And one of those. What color did we say we were making these things? I can't remember now. I can't remember. One was yellow and what was the other one? Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll make it an aqua. Blue on black. Blue, was it blue on black? No, it wasn't blue on black. Let's select invert. I know that this one is yellow. It doesn't matter because we're going to be texturing them up as two separate things. It was blue on yellow. Okay. Let's do an invert again so we keep them the same. Let us turn on vertex coloring. There we go. Different color blue, but that doesn't matter. That's not quite correct. This one here should not be blue. They should be yellow. That's right. So we've got half and half there, that's good. And half and half there, that's good. Alrighty. Now the doors. Pretty much I think with the doors it's going to be wood with probably a metal for the handle, which is really hard to see because it's all checker. So let's fix that up. So I'm just going to select the handle and we're going to make that, I don't know, let's make it a purple. And we'll make the rest of it a red. And same with this one, we'll make the handle of purple. And the rest of it red. Now this one, I want glass in here, so I think what I'm going to do is isolate this door, collapse my stack, select the glass paneling through the middle, and I'm going to assign it a separate texture. So I'm just going to throw in drag in a standard material. We'll just make the color a bit of a blue so that we know it's supposed to be a glass, and I'm just going to change the opacity a little bit. I'll just assign the material there. That just helps remind me that that's going to be glass. I'm not going to separate the UVs. It'll stay as one object, but when we bring it into Unreal, we'll have two separate textures. Yeah. So let's make the handle. Oh no, don't do that. Okay. The handle has actually been attached to the door, which is very unfortunate. So we're going to have to select it separately. Let's make that purple. I'm just going to deselect the glass. And let's make that, what colour did we decide? A red, wasn't it? There we go. Why did did I forget to do my handle? I bet I did, you know. There we go. I don't have to change the colour for the glass, it's going to be a separate material, so. Okay. We have this one. Blue on black, yellow on front. Thank you, Euro. Alford says maybe Phil needs to clean his glasses. What? I'm just noticing with this, we really should clean up that, we really should stitch that through there, so because we'll look at doing it in Max as opposed to doing it in Ryzen. It would be easier to do in Ryzen, but where is that? Where are we? Keep forgetting this little dialog box Max opens and puts way up here in the corner, so I always miss that it's there. Healthwood says, bloody hell, that ping woke me up. Yes, I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's a loud ping. Let's stitch this one. Good. It does mean we need to repack our UV, so. Helpwood says, I was half asleep on my desk. Maybe I need some more coffee too. Yes, more coffee. Everyone should have more coffee. Let's collapse our stack. Select our handle. And we're making that a purple, aren't we? And then do an invert. And we're making that a red. Next one, same thing here. I'm just going to have to fix those UVs. I'll try to not make it ping. I'll try. Did you hear CD Projekt Red got hacked? That's no good. They had the source code for the Witcher game and the Cyberpunk game stolen. Not good at all. Haven't they been through enough, that poor company? All the problems they've had with that game. Let's collapse that stack. We're going to make that purple. And we're going to make that red. Euro says, yeah, I read that earlier. They must have had some pretty crappy security in place if hackers managed to traverse so much of their system. Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say anything, but you're right. I would have to agree. It's like, dudes, come on. Still, it's pretty bad luck for them because look, they got hate because they had to delay releasing Cyberpunk. So, you know, people sent them death threats and hate mail. And then they got hate because they released it and it was so badly optimized and performance, you know, full of bugs. So they got hate mail for that. And on top of all of that, now they've been hacked and had all their source code stolen. I mean, man, they just can't win. So I feel a bit sorry for them. Let's fix the UVs here. Still, that's no excusing releasing a buggy game, I have to admit. They should have just, if it wasn't ready, they should not have released. You guys know I bought it, but I haven't played it. Like, I played the first maybe 20-30 minutes of it, and that's it. And I probably won't until I know that everything's been patched up properly. I didn't pre-order though, so that's why you should never pre-order a game. You should wait. You'll get it cheaper in the long run anyway. Yura says, yeah, the hate for Cyberpunk is kind of warranted. They hyped the game up to the heavens for years and then delivered a beta on release. It's true. And I think it was 7 years or something they took to make that, wasn't it? They said they were in development for 7 years. Hellford says, could it be that someone working remotely got hacked and their credentials used to breach the internals? Yes, that would not surprise me, Hellforge. That's a very real possibility, yep. A lot of companies have had that problem at the moment because everyone's working from home around the world. They have to rely on their employees' own sense of knowing what they should and shouldn't open in emails and all that sort of jazz to make sure they don't get hacked. So a lot of companies have actually been being breached via their employees because they've been phished via spam, via email and stuff to get into the company's systems then. So yeah, that's a very good point. Elfwood says, no idea how a game studio would do networking like that. Well, you guys know I work for an ArchViz studio and a game studio, and we do remote work like that. It's not hard, it's quite easy. That's what video conferencing and stuff is for. So yeah, no, working that way isn't difficult if you're a game studio, or any sort of studio really. Having said that, we still get together and actually meet in person and talk as well. We don't rely completely just on Zoom. We don't use Zoom. We use WebEx actually, but yeah, it can be done. I know a lot of studios are working that way. Let's collapse that stack. Yura says, maybe, but again, it's crap security if one user account had permission that spanned the entire network. I guess it depends on who that one person was that they hacked. You know what I mean? Was it the IT guy? Was it the director who generally do have access to a lot of stuff. No, we're not changing the color on that one. We're changing that to our glass material. Android Lost says, who got hacked? I was grabbing some food, so I missed it. We're talking about CD Projekt Red. They got hacked recently, like in the last few days. And the hackers stole all of their source code for like the Cyberpunk game and for the Witcher game. And I think the hackers also encrypted their network. You know, ransomware, that's how they operate. They break into a corporate network. They encrypt all the drives, and then they demand a payment to get the decryption key so you get access to all your data again. I understand though CD Projekt Red have said they're not paying the ransomware, that they're restoring from a backup that they had, so at least they had a backup, which is good to hear. Because you don't want to pay these criminals for your data. That's the last thing you should be doing. Otherwise, it just encourages them to do it again and again and again. So I'm glad at least they had backups. But I tell you, what a bad run of luck for that studio really is, because they went from being the darlings that everybody loved, you know, CD Projekt Red making great games, you know, to this pariah company because they released Cyberpunk in such a bad state. And they went out of their way to try and fix it. They offered refunds to anyone who wanted it. So if you'd bought the game and you didn't like it, they'll give you a refund. Euro, what have you posted here in the Discord? Oh, this is the retweet from them. Yeah. So if you want to see the press release that CD Projekt Red actually put out talking about this, it's on the Discord. Euro just posted an image to their press release. Man. Andrew Lost says, ouch. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad hack it is. Euro says, I plopped the tweet in Discord. I'm checking it out. Yep, check it out in the Discord server. Did that Discord link not show up for you, Hellforge? I see you popped it in the chat. Why is that? Strange. I just put that one in. I'm just wondering why the Discord link. Yep, we'll see. Euro did the Discord, it's fine. Could be that I can't spell. Could be that I can't read. No, you spelled it correctly by the look of it, didn't you? D-I-S-C-O-R-D. I'm not a wizard after all, so my spelling is weak, but you spelled it correctly, didn't you? Or am I going blind? We all know Phyllis are blind, but it looks correct to me, which was why I was curious as to why I didn't pop the link in the chat. Do it again. Do it again, Hellforge. I want to make sure that there's no issues with you putting the links in. There shouldn't be. Type exclamation Discord in Twitch chat, Hellforge. Are you awake, Hellforge? Can you hear me? Well, at your leisure, pop exclamation Discord in Twitch chat. Considering you, thank you, Hellforge. Yeah, no, it's working fine. Hellforge says, considering you read back as black, I guess I know, for a good 15 minutes, I'm not sure anymore. That's what these are for. And they don't do the job. Ah, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let's move on to the next door. And again, it's another one where I've done this with the UVs. Man. Come on, Philip. Get your act together. I know I fixed some of them because I remember doing them while we were actually in Ryzen. But it looks like there were quite a few that I actually forgot to fix. Android Lost says, I like how the ransom note is a type notepad file. It always is. Yeah, notepad. Those scammers, they love the notepad. I shouldn't call it the notepad. Makes me sound like I'm 80. The Twitter, the Facebook, the notepad. That's no offense to anyone that's 80, by the way. Oh, we're getting there. Let's do a quick save so I can have a copy. Just be on the safe side. Snowberry says scamming with a doc file would be poor OPSEC. Yeah, they all tend to use the notepad. They all tend to use notepad. Don't call it the notepad, call it man. Helpwood says, isn't 80 a bit young for you? Oh, yeah, you get a slap. You get a full slap. Bit young for me. You guys thought I was a baby boomer. How rude was that? I'm not that old. Snavariga says, why can't they use the markdown? Yuri says, the older the fiddle, the better the tune. That's right, Euro. You got it spot on. Snapperika says a bit of class. And Helpwood says worth it. Oh, you're all as bad as Sniper Girl. Okay, let's isolate this one. And again, oh no, this one's done. That's right. I managed to stitch these ones. Collapse the stack. Select the handle and make it purple. Pinky purple. And the rest of it can be red. Sniper says to Hellforge, did Phil just give you the Phil slap? I did. Yeah, totally worth it though. Yes, he just got slapped for saying that I was over 80 years old. Now this one, yeah, I've decided I wasn't going to make this glass here. Like when I created it, I actually did the cutout to make it like the cabinets up the top. Oh, or will I? Will I make it glass? Let me have a look at the overall design here. Yeah, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I'm trying to picture in my head it textured up as to whether I want to put glass in the middle of these drawers here. I don't think I do, actually. But I might make it a different coloured wood. That might look interesting. So we will give this a unique colour, vertex colour, so that when we texture it up, we can maybe put some interesting inlay or something in there. Yeah, that'll look cool. Decided. Done. Yuri says, I'd leave the drawers solid. Doors glass. Yeah, look, I agree, Euro. I'm not going to make them glass, but I am going to, I think, make the inlay here maybe a different material. Either a different coloured wood or some maybe patterned wood or something. We'll do something. And if we don't like it, then we can just we can just switch it to the same colour as the rest of the drawer. So we'll have the best of both worlds. Give us the option, just in case. But not glass. I agree. Not glass down here, just glass on the cupboard doors. Not on the drawers. So let's isolate that. And yep, that's stitched, that's fine. It doesn't look stitched when I pull back because the inside I didn't bother stitching, simply because you're never going to see it. It is stitched all the way around. Let's collapse the stack. Turn it to a poly. Select the handle and make it purple. Pinky purple, purple. I'm going to do an invert. I'm going to deselect the middle. I'll keep that the same. And we'll make that a red. And this bit we will make a green. Why not? Next one. Collapse the stack. And we'll make this a purple. And red. So yeah, anyway, I feel a bit sorry for CD Projekt Red. All the hate they've been getting recently. I mean, I've said to you guys before, no one wants to make a bad game. And the guys at the studio, I think, knew that the game wasn't ready to be released. I think it was more the publishers and stuff that were pushing them to actually release more than anything. Which is a shame because, yeah, they've sort of destroyed the goodwill that they had in the community now. You know, hard to get and easy to lose goodwill. So, wondering what's going on there. I'm just going to look at the UV maps on this. Seems a little off through here. And I'm just wondering why. I might send this back to Rhizome and have a look at that. It just looks like there's something not quite right. So let's collapse it. I think it's because I rescaled it, that's right. We copied the draw from the other side, but this draw was smaller, so we had to rescale it, which means we need to re-UV map it. So we'll do that. Once I find it. That's not quite right. I have a feeling when it's doing the export, it's making a bit of a mess of it, so let's see if we can do it manually. Sorry for that ding. Let's export it to the desktop. And just call it anything, just hit the keyboard a few times. Okay, now what are you saying? The following maps are only supported by three. Oh, yeah, it's complaining about the checker map, that's all. And let's open up Horizon. And let's load it in. No, again, it's not quite right. Something not quite right there. Euro says, I'd leave the drawers solid, doors glass. Yep, I agree. Helpwood says, with the risk of asking the same question again, have you thought about giving Star Citizen a try at some point? No, I haven't really thought about it. I play Unreal. Sorry, not Unreal. I play Elite, Dangerous. Star Citizen looks beautiful. It's Robert Industries or whatever his name is. It's been in development forever, and they've gone through so much money making that game, and it's still not ready. I don't think it ever will be ready. Have you played it, Hellforge? That's the game I'm thinking of, isn't it? It's a space sim game, or a space game. Star Citizen, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I mean, yeah, it does look nice, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if it's ever going to be finished. Now, what is going on here? What have I done? That looks a bit strange. The rest of it is fine. It's just this piece here on the front. I'm just going to detach this piece. Yeah, I'm thinking of the right game. Good. Android Lust says, Sniper Girl convinced me to not play Star Citizen. Mr. Squarepeg says, yes, I'm thinking of the right one. Hellford says, yeah, I have it. It's currently hogging like 80 gigabytes on my hard drive. Yura says, I got the game given to me a few years back and not had time to play it yet. Yeah, I mean, I've not played it. What's going on here? I haven't played it. It does look nice from what I've seen. Like the development, the design and stuff looks nice. It's like they've done a good job. It seems to have been in development forever, and they've burnt through so much money making it. Is it ever going to be finished? Euro says, I got that game. Sorry, Hellport says, I was just curious because it would be interesting to hear your commentary on the aesthetics and the assets in the game. From what I've seen, it looks beautiful. Like, I really like the design and the texturing and the modeling. It all looks nice, really nicely done. I can't say I can fault it for looks, but I haven't played it, so. But from what I've seen of video of it and stills, it does look beautiful. I mean, I can see that they put a lot of work into it. Still, how many years in development has that been going on? Mira says, I'm waiting for Space Legs in Elite. Yes, Space Legs should be soon. Hopefully. I actually want atmospheric planets in Elite. That's what I'm waiting for. Like, you can land on barren planets and ice planets sort of thing now. I want them to do atmospheric planets. That'd be really cool. I'm going to try sending just this over to Ryzen. Seems that this piece of geometry really, there's something not quite right going on. I can tell here. So I'm going to, I might remake this piece of geometry. Well, it's really, there's nothing to it really. So we might just remake it. It'll be easier and quicker. So I'm just going to line it up. And we're going to box it. Let's line it up in the top viewport. Needs to be just a little bit wider. That should be good. Now I'm going to make sure it's lined up along the edges. That looks okay. Yura says, I don't know if the ships could handle atmospheric re-entry. I can bump most ships in my cutter and blow them up. Atmospheric turbulence would rip them apart. Because, yeah, they make a big point of that, don't they, in Elite, that everything is, like, true to life. So, we're going to go with 2 that way and, 3 that way and 3 that way. Thread it in a poly, loop it, line it up, loop it and line it up. Oh. Okay. Now we're going to, what are we going to do? Actually, I can't remember. This was just a frame, wasn't it? There was nothing in the middle of it, so I think we just need to delete those. And let's go into isolation just on the frame. And we're just going to bridge these. Where's my bridge? There it is. Did you not bridge? You did not bridge, did you? Oh. Might just be the shadowing that's throwing me off. It's going to go into flat color. Yep, that's fine. It was just the shadowing throwing me off. And we're going to connect these ones. Wait. And these ones. Okay. I just can't remember if we had a bevel on these or not. Oh, am I in the wrong viewport? I am. Top, front, this will be left. This is the one I want to look at. I don't think we did do a bevel on these edges. No, I don't think we did. So I'm just going to select those and isolate them. Let's send this over to UV map it really quickly in Horizon. Come on. Halford says, when I played Elite a while back, I spent my time hauling booze one way and wind chimes on the way back, while scorching my hull whenever I tickled a star with my fuel scoops. Tickle that star. Send that back. I like the automated computer you can buy to actually dock for you instead of, you know, those space stations that turn. You've got to sort of turn your ship to match the docking bay. I like that automated computer you can buy so it automatically docks and lands for you. Let's add the, I'm just going to rename this one new so I know this is the new one. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach it to the drawer. So that one and that one. We need to repack the UVs now that we've remapped it. There we go. And I just need to delete the old facade here, which will be that one there. There we go. Now we're good. Euro says, I usually fight wars and the time between doing player faction missions. Smurf says, look at these scrubs using the docking computers. Yes, I love the docking computer. Euro says, the docking computer, a waste of utility slot. And I've got no excuse because I've got a HOTAS, so, you know, hands on throttle and stick. When I play Elite, I pull that out. But I still like the docking computer. I just don't have room on my desk to leave it completely set up permanently. So whenever I want to play Elite, I've got to drag it down from the cupboard and set it up, plug it in. It's only USB, but yeah, it's as big as my keyboard. Hellboy says, I should never be trusted with anything small and light. I can't do precision flying and dogfighting. I can pilot a carrier and battleships like an absolute champ. But the moment I have to twitch react to things, I'm basically a ball of scrap. So let's make the handle a purple. Edit, invert, deselect. Let's make that a red. And then this bit, we'll make it green. Okay. Let's isolate this cupboard. Handle purple. And the rest of it red. How are we going? Oh, we're nearly there. Seems to take forever. Let's do a quick save so I can have a copy. Smurf says, type 10 Chonka. Chonka Deluxe Hellforge says, Euro says, in Elite you literally have to engineer your ship for them to be good at doing anything. Even the cutter is a complete turd to maneuver without engineering. Hellforge says, threading the needle is more fun in Battleship anyway, since I'll put a serious dent in whenever you're flying by if you miss. Call me old-fashioned, but I like the good old Cobra. Cobra Mark III in Elite. Let's move to this door. The Anaconda's nice, of course, but can't go past the good Cobra. Euro says the worst ship in the game for the toast rack is the Beluge liner because of those ridiculous wings it has. Edit, but deselect.
Are you ready?
And that means we want this bit to be the glass material. And did we make that a separate color? I can't remember. I don't think we did. Or did we? No, I don't think we did. We just want to turn on object vertex coloring. And this door. I need to stitch this one.
Are you ready?
So you guys got anything interesting planned for the weekend? I'm just going to be hanging out at home. We had another two new cases of the human malware announced today. Like, we've been no cases for a month, but escaping from hotel quarantine. It's that new highly infectious human malware that's going around as well, the South African one, I think. So that's no good. I got my passport though. You guys know last week I had to go into the city and renew my passport. Well, they posted that to me. It arrived Monday. So that was pretty good. Only took a week. They said it was going to take up to 3 weeks, but only ended up taking a week, which was good. Not that I can fly anywhere because, you know, you can't leave the country at the moment. Still, good to have it for when I need it. Helpful says, not sure who designed that ship. Yura says, yeah, wings in space. Like, Smurfberry says, just going to keep working on these submarines. How many of them have we got to make? Yura says, I don't make plans anymore. All the good ones go to waste. Well, that's true. Android Lust says, hopefully finishing another mini project. Well, they all sound fine to me. Doing a mini project, not making plans, which is probably wise. Sounds fair enough to me. I think I've done quite well today, reading the chat and still working for a change, because you know what Phil's like when he starts talking in the chat. He doesn't get any work done. But I've managed to do both, so I'm impressed with myself. This one here. I'd like to get this done so that next week when we come back I can just concentrate on texture mapping in Substance Painter. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. All of the assets with UV maps, so the fridge, the stove, the kitchen, all that jazz. Smurf says 2, 1 attack sub and 1 missile sub. Oh, okay, so you got to do 2. Helford says I was a bit too hot on the stick in SC, Star Citizen, and ripped off 2 of the 4 wings. The ship really didn't fly well after one action. What did you link to? What is this? Let me have a look. If you're new to my channel, you want to know a bit about me and what I do, go to phildoes3d.com. So my Twitch username with a .com on the end. Wow. I'm actually looking at the texturing work on the actual ship, actually. That's what's caught my attention at the moment. Yeah, they've textured everything nicely. Everything's nicely textured up. cool. Picture of the ship, Helpwood says. Okay, how are we going? We've got a draw here. Now, why is that like that? I might just do a repack on this. That's better. Nope. Still not quite right. Where is that? That is yeah. Turn off angle snap. Get it to do a repack. You can fill holes, normalize, rescale, but not rotate. That's better. Make that purple, purpley pink. And we'll make that red. Here it says, picture of what's left of the ship, fixed it for you. Helpwood says, I had like 10k worth of cargo as well when I took a wrong turn and slammed into a wall, which got worse when I overcompensated and slammed into the opposite wall before I just gave up and did a hard landing on the spot. Oh dear. You can buy insurance. Can you buy insurance for your ships in Star Citizen like you can in Unreal? Not in Unreal. in Elite, I mean. I don't know why I keep calling it Unreal. They both start with E. I think that's the reason. Euro says 10 out of 10 per effort to Helpwood. Euro says the beta backer insurance in Elite is pretty sweet, yep. So if you do want to, you know, risk something and you buy some insurance in Elite, at least you can get your ship back. Cost of your ship back. Do they have that in Star Citizen? Can you buy insurance for your ship in case you do wreck it? Or not? I bet you're not. Wouldn't surprise me if you say no because of, you know, Robert Industries or whatever they call themselves. I mean, isn't the going joke that you could actually buy ships for like thousands of dollars for that game? They were charging like a couple of grand to buy an actual ship for the game. This is a couple of grand real money when they were trying to fundraise. Helpwood says, I think there is, but I don't recall where you can buy it from. Where you can buy it for your boats. Yeah, I seem to remember them charging thousands of dollars for actual in-game ships, but thousands of dollars in real money. I think with the tap, we're going to make it just the one. Actually, I think what I'll do with the tap is I might separate it up into two. So We'll make this a green. And we'll make this, I don't know, an aqua. We might make the frame here a different material color. So let's make that a pink, which will then leave obviously the main sink itself, which we will make, I don't know, an orangey brown. And then the plug hole, let's make that a dark blue. Oh man, I did not mean to do that. There we go. Oh, we got the little nozzle bit here as well, I forgot about that. Let's make that a dark purple. Now we should be good. We don't have an actual sink in this, like a pipe I mean, through the sink. I don't think, because this part of the cabinet is sealed up, we've only got a drawer at the bottom. It's going to be pretty much pitch black in there anyway, so you won't see it in the game. It's just going to be a shadow. I think that's it for the kitchen. I think the kitchen is all done now. It's UV mapped and Vertex coloured and named. So I think we're pretty good. So let's just get everything positioned and we'll do a save.
Tell me where I belong. I've been searching all night.
And I can have a coffee.
Walking these streets, it's amazing midnight. Been talking to you, yet those days have gone by. I gave you a chance to treat me.
Hellforge says, I think there is, but I don't recall where you can buy it for your boats. Android Lust says, I thought that is their business model on Star Citizen. Hellforge's link says, the red arrow points to a human standing under the ship. Let me have a look. Oh, okay. Man, that's massive. If that's the human there, that's massive, massive ship. Massive. Yura says, yeah, they sold loads of expensive ships based on concept art. So they have a whole bunch of ships to model for those people. Oh, okay. Hellforge says it's pretty sizable. It's huge. The ship is huge. Yura says, looks about the size of an anaconda. Do you reckon an anaconda is that big? You might be right. I mean, I know the anaconda is a big ship, but that does look massive though. Front landing gear for that ship. He's got an image here for the front landing gear. Let's have a look. No. Oh, I see the people here. Massive, massive ship. Again, I'm looking at the texturing that they've done on the ship. Smurf says, so it's the size of a cutter or a Type 9. Yura says, I never noticed the arrow and only saw the people on the right. Smurf says, I think the anaconda stops before the top bubble. Talking about here. I'm assuming, maybe. That's a massive ship though. Like if you look at these people, then I would have said, yeah, that's about anaconda size, but if it's this person here that's standing directly under it, then that thing is huge. Helpwood says the inside of that ship is great. It's a nice design. Oh, look, I can't fault Robert Industries or whatever they call. Like, I can't remember their name. Here you go. It's the guys that make Star Citizen. I can't fault them for their design. I mean, they've come up with some really beautiful looking environments and ships and stuff. They all look good. The running joke is that it's just taking them forever and it's costing an absolute fortune to make Star Citizen. I don't think it's ever going to be finished. I mean, the scope of the game is very big, so I think they're one of those studios that have a problem with feature creep. I think that's a perfect example of feature creep in a game studio, Star Citizen. Helpwood says, I've played FPS game levels smaller than the inside of that ship. Smurf says, Tony Stark Industries. Euro says, my phone's going off. Euro says, Anaconda is 155 meters long, 62 meters wide. The cutter is 192 meters long and 111 meters wide. Well, there you go. Yuri says, I love a Panther Clipper, but based on Classic Elite, it would be way too big to dock with any station in the game. Helpwood says, 210 meters long, 71 meters beam, and 40 meters tall, according to Google. Why is it work always contact me when I'm streaming? What's that all about? Should just... Smurf says, well, if FDev would implement cargo courier shuttles. Frontier Developments he's talking about. Okay. So what have we got left? I think we've done the curtains with the vertex colouring. We've done the kitchen here, and the kitchen here was the biggest job. So that's done. I think we just have to vertex colour the fridge and the oven, which won't take long because there's not a lot going on with the fridge and the oven. So we might do that next week, I think. Smurf says, park next to a station, let the bots load and unload the cargo. Helford says, once you grow shonky enough, you'll become the space station and the ships will dock with you instead. Helpwood says that would be pretty sweet though, to cruise around the system in a space station. It would be sweet. I don't know how fast you can move in a space station though. Alright, so what am I doing? Okay, I think Phil's a bit tired from doing all of this vertex colouring stuff. I think we might call it a day. It's only 5 minutes until I normally finish anyway. Now Yuri says, I have that already with fighter bays, 8 slots, 2 bays. So yes, I think we might call it a day, guys. I do want to thank you though for being here and for hanging out and watching with me. I will be back, of course, on Monday next week at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We will start probably doing some texturing. Well, when I come back next week, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to vertex colour the oven and the fridge, which won't take long because there's not much to them. Once we've done that, we're going to start texturing these assets up. Once we've done that, we're going to start bringing them into the Unreal Engine. You're quite welcome. Thanks guys though for being here and hanging out. I hope you guys have a great weekend, whatever you do, whether you're doing something or you're doing nothing and just chilling out. I hope it's a good one. I'll see you all hopefully on Monday next week. You guys take care. See ya.